What is up, Packers fans, and welcome to the Pack-A-Day Podcast live reaction show as Green Bay defeats the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I do believe by a score of 27-18. Working on confirmation. Yes, indeed, it was 27-18. Uneven performance, to say the least. Uh, Multiple opportunities, I think, to gap that one. And um, by and large, I think it's I think it's a game that was probably not as far in question as people think. Like the second half, the highest percentage chance to win that Cincinnati had was 26. That was after, I'm guessing, the Hudson touchdown. Yeah. Um, Green Bay was pretty well in hand of this football game, and it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that. It felt uneven. It felt stressful. Yeah, it just didn't. It didn't feel. It didn't feel like a butt whooping, but um, they got a win, and um, yeah, no complaints about being 3-1-1. Being 4-1, I guess, would be better if they had won down in Dallas, or obviously terrible things hadn't happened to the Browns game. But yeah, that's kind of the deal. Let's get into some of your questions. Yeah, I noticed that too. Whistles once forward progress was stopped. Multiple Bengals runs had been completely stopped. Yeah, they were letting them play. I mean, for sure. Um, yeah, I agree. Though, I mean, I saw those plays. I do agree. Um, I don't love the idea of the everybody's at a standstill and then we play rugby and it's a first down. Um, I don't love that. No, and if your reaction to a 9-point win against another professional football team is to fire the coach, seek help, please. Um, Great win, not a great performance. Defense has me worried. Hopefully, the guys who got injured are not too bad. I want from now on to watch this team get better week by week. Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. I think defensively, Wyatt makes things really go a lot better in the interior. Oddly enough, against the run, he wasn't thought of as much of a run defender. Um, Coming out, he's more of a penetrator, but they have easily played significantly um, better run defense with him active. It's been significantly better. And like I said, not his calling card coming out, but they've been a lot better. Why can't we stop the short throws? Do we not know, man? Coverages. They don't have corners with ball skills. Like Keyshawn Nixon doesn't have ball skills. Nate Hobbs doesn't have ball skills. Um, Javon Bullard does not really have ball skills. They are sticky. They have good coverage, but um, in a 50-50 ball, I'm not taking any of these corners. Certainly not again. Not over. Um, Not over any Higgins or certainly Chase. MLS has never put a team away ever. Someone did not watch week 1 or 2 against an NFC finalist and the number 1 seed from last year. When will Parsons get a penalty? Man, it is crazy. And here's the exact same thing. Uh, he needs to start getting calls, and um, there's nothing really to be done about that. Um, yeah, the takeaways thing has to change, and they got to play a little bit more aggressive. But man, I understand maybe not playing so aggressive uh, in the sense that, sorry, I got a little loud. I got my buddy Rocky here with me. Um, just because they do have corners that have and will get beat. And you saw that today. You saw that against Dallas. Hobbs was lost the whole first half, and then they just started picking on Nixon. And give Nixon credit. He was where he was supposed to be at all times, but he just has no awareness for the ball. In those back shoulder situations, jump ball situations, he's going to lose to Jamar Chase. And hey, by the way, most people are going to lose to Jamar Chase, 100%, 100%. But I mean, if there's a jump ball and it's to Keyshawn Nixon's side, my hopes are not high. His pass breakups are generally on routes he's sitting on, or routes that he can use his speed to go swat the ball away. Back shoulder, jump ball, that's not great. It is not great. Yeah, it's a scheme thing. And I love Jeff Halfley, man, but you're getting these quarterbacks hitting the back step of their or the back step of their drop, the final step of their drop, and just letting it sing because someone's open. And then without Wyatt, the run defense doesn't give up massive chunks, but gives up these 4, 5, 6, and all of a sudden it's 2nd and 4, and that's a win. And they played quarterbacks that I know people make fun of Flacco, but he's a veteran. You give him 2nd and 4, he's going to get a first down. Dak certainly is playing at an extremely high level, and yeah, I just think the way that um, they've been designing this defense when they have a lead, when they're not getting sacks and guys are just hitting the back of their drop. And a lot of times it's just right at Quay, right over the ball. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the tight end. And it's been a problem his entire career. And he's much improved, but he's much improved in areas that don't matter as much, which is like run defense. I mean, give up a touchdown today, you can still target Quay in coverage, and you can target these corners in coverage, and they're not testing the safeties. No one cares. No one cares about Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney. No one throws at them. They just nothing. So it's tough, man. It's a lot of dink, a lot of dunk, and they're not able to kind of deal with that. Yes, I agree. Um, people are miserable if you can't enjoy it. I mean, you've nailed it. It's they won a game by 2 scores. And they won a game that in the second half they never had less than a 76% chance of winning. Um, they're 3-1-1. They're gonna be favored. Uh, they're gonna be favored this upcoming week. They're gonna be favored to be 4-1-1, and I'm sure people will find a way to complain about that. People say they can't beat the good teams. They've already beaten 2 good teams, and not only did they beat 2 good teams, they smacked them. And each people are going to complain, man. You need to win every game by 21 points, or no one's happy, and even then, there will be complaints. If I had to bet, I'd say yes. Is Christian Watson back next week? I think he is. I'm not going to guarantee that by any stretch. Um, but if I had to guess, I think they get Watson back. Again, no guarantee. I think they get Watson back. Um, you have a good CB2 and good CB3. Nope. I'm sorry, what? I don't see that. I mean, Hobbs is getting killed. You can just throw the ball at Nixon, he won't make a play. I mean, he's fine. Um, but I don't think there is a top 60 corner on the roster, and that would be a CB2. Top 64. The early returns on the 2 free agent signings are rough after absolutely knocking free agency out of the park next year. Yeah, he did Jordan Love stuff again. He was awesome, and then he short circuited twice. The pick that he threw was insane. I don't understand how that happened. And then him sliding was just like he just short circuited, and he short circuits like twice a game. And it's something because when he's not just doing what in the world Jordan Love stuff, he's literally playing at an MVP level. All the nerd graphs where top right is good. Guess what? You can find here. I can even figure it out on the mirror. You can figure out Jordan Love is here in the top right corner where all the good quarterbacking is being done. But like twice a game, he just does stuff where you go, what? His thoughts on Rashid Walker? He's not getting beat on every play. Yeah, I mean I'm not concerned, right? They'll get another crack at Detroit. They killed Detroit. Um, like they're going to be favored. Who knows what will happen in Arizona, but they're going to be favored to be 4-1-1. They're going to be favored to be 4-1-1. Yeah. Um, I don't like them running the ball. Jacobs was pretty good today. As far as his flat box score numbers, 5.2 a carry. That looks better than it has. This was a horrific run defense in Cincinnati. I think they came into the game 24th in run D. Um, yeah, man. I think they're just running it too much still, though. You got uh, Jordan Love, 19 to 26. He's at 10 yards a throw, and your best performance is 4.6 a carry. You're literally more than twice as productive when you throw it. I would like to see them throw it. And the offense, though, I mean, Christian has been, will be, unless he is diminished, and I have seen nothing to believe that, the secret sauce. Yeah. Yeah, and he didn't. And his record is like top 3 ever in the league. Okay. Arizona, gonna be there with the boys. I'll be at Packer Report, covering the game, and actually Jake Stack, or Jacob at Jacob Morley, as you know. He will be shooting the game down in the desert. Very, very, very excited. Very, very excited. Um, and that team is potentially in a little bit of shambles, honestly. Um, he they, excuse me, lost Marvin Harrison Jr. potentially to a concussion. We're already starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. It's not looking great for Arizona right now at this time. Seek some help. Holy cow! I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I thought, thanks for the super chat. Obviously, I thought, again, they were 20, 24th in run D, I think was the number coming into the game. So you would hope they'd move some people, and they did. And you took one sack. Hendrickson played the full first half, and then you took no sacks in the second half. Um, I thought Love had a lot of time to throw in the second half, and I'm not sure guys got super open. I don't know why he kept throwing the ball at DJ Turner. Romeo Dobbs cannot beat DJ Turner. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. There's some crazy comments, man. You are what your record says you are. Whew, somebody did not watch the last offensive drive of the game. Man, there is just insanity in the comments. Yeah, again, I think they're going to be favored, I would guess. Next week looks, right now on the look ahead line that I'm looking at, they're 5.5 point favorites. It's pretty decent for being a home team or for being a road team. Again, you could get Jacoby Reset. You could get no MHJ. They already lost James Conner. It is a diminished Cardinals team. Um, I don't know how much they probably feel like they have to play for. They just lost to the Colts, which the Colts are, I think, a good football team. Um, yeah, I think it is very, very reasonable um, to expect a victory. I think that makes a lot of sense. But you never know. You never know. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a good player. They have good players on the defense. It's a good it's an exciting game. I'm pumped for next week. Obviously to be there in person, but I'm pumped for that. Uh, yeah, I mean that just is not what happened, man. This blame of Lafleur stuff is honestly insane. Um, Jordan Love should not have slid, and then instead of playing for the kick, he threw, and they didn't protect it. And Love honestly didn't make a great throw off his back foot. That is not on Lafleur. He did the aggressive thing you all wanted him to do, and by the way, called a play that should have literally ended the game. But Jordan Love slid 2 yards short of a first down. This is crazy. Was not a dogfight. Never had more than a 25% chance of losing that game in the second half. And at no point in the fourth quarter did they have uh, less than an 86% chance of winning the game. That was unequivocally not a dogfight. Totally agree. Totally agree. I don't understand it. And I get it. Um, I understand that uh, you have a bias, right? You like I do, obviously look at the shirt. But I think even if you look at what is happening defensively for Green Bay, objectively, you would say that Parsons is getting just mugged. And he got mugged in Dallas, and he got mugged this game. And I don't know, man. Um, I, like I said, you can submit plays to the league. You can have a conversation with officials before the game, like, hey, by the way, last two games, number one's been getting absolutely mugged into oblivion. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It just keeps happening. Yeah, I agree. Wyatt's missing. I mean, again, like they gave up 18 points. If they're going to give up 18 points, they're going to win. It's going to be unless they're playing Cleveland's defense without 60% of their offensive line. Like this Packers offense, warts and all, is going to get to 20 more often than not. Like 2 weeks ago, they just got to 40. They just got to 27. Um, I but yes, they need to start turning the other team over. Their lack of turnovers, especially after the uh, emphasis on, I can't remember what they called him, the ball king or something like that. I mean, it's a frightening number, and I get what they're doing, right? They think they can get pressure with four, um, allow 2, 3, 4 yard completions, rally up and tackle, and for the most part, they've been successful in that. But they're all pro. It's just they're not even throwing down there, right? They throw sideline routes, back shoulder stuff that Hobbs and Nixon can't cover, and then they dink and dunk. I don't know what I mean I have to look, but I don't know if you would consider Evan Williams or Xavier McKinney targeted in this game. I mean, sincerely, like I don't know if there was an Evan Williams or a uh, Xavier McKinney target. I don't know. I think somebody said a foot. That's I think that's what somebody said on LVN. Um, let's see, just right foot. Yeah, I mean that's concerning, man. Very few foot injuries are good. It's always something with like you get the turf toe. That's always bad. And then any broken bone in the foot sounds small, but it's so problematic, especially when you're talking about ball get off. You know what? Shout out to you, Tegan. I'm glad that you're happy. Yeah. I don't know if that is a compliment or not. And I am very much not from Wisconsin, but boy, do I appreciate you. Um, some of it is just fan, right? Like fan is short for fanatic. But at the same time, like, you make a trade for Michael Parsons, and I know I've been tough on people because people are just being insane in the comments, but um, you make a trade for Michael Parsons, and the expectation is a championship. And I don't really care about any of this because the team that you are in October is not the team that you're going to be in January, and hopefully they're going to be a better team in January. Or as most of the time happens, this league's going to suffer injuries, and maybe they'll be the healthiest team in January. But they've got a top five non-quarterback in the league, and I think they've got probably a top six or seven quarterback in the league, and that gives them a chance. And so, um, and the top five non-quarterback obviously being, Micah. But yeah, it's expectations get increased when you play like you did in week one, you play like you did in week two, and you go out and you spend two first round picks on a guy like Michael Parsons. Yeah, I agree with this. BTW. I think it felt closer because the fans have been on tilt since Cleveland until we won by 20 points. Pack fans are going to be psychos, and I agree with that. I mean, I understand that. I mean, I don't agree with being psycho, but like I get why people are nervous. The Packers had in that game with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left, the Packers had a 91% chance to win that game. I mean, you couldn't have picked more things to go wrong for them to lose that game. And so now I do actually understand and believe, like, yeah, um, there are probably fans that are expecting the worst, right? And um, I get that for sure. He did. I really thought Golden played well. Showed that he has tremendous hands. Actually, did something that wasn't on his college tape, which is pretty cool. As far as had some yak, had some missed tackle, force juice. Really was not that kind of ball in his hand killer during like on his tape during his time at Texas. Um, and so I liked what I saw when he got the ball in his hands because they've run a bunch of like scheme stuff to him. And I think Peter Bukowski has pointed it out. Like it's not working. The tunnel screens, the this and then that, the jet sweeps, like he's just hasn't been that dude. And I think he showed not that he's that dude now, but I think he showed a little bit of ability to do that. I'm not assigning no blame to Matt LaFleur. I've been complaining literally all year about how much they're running the ball. Literally all year. And I don't know. I mean, but why am I assigning blame for a 9 point victory? You should assign credit. I mean, it's just this makes no sense. Yeah, I think it's probably going to show to be better than we thought it from a pressure standpoint. Getting it, but you have to remember too that the soft zone has a ton to do with, and the bad cornerback play has a ton to do with the pass rush. No pass rush is going to get there if the quarterback gets to the top of his drop and just completes a pass. You have to win instantly. And there are times they did win instantly and the corner lost that fast. Like Sorrell comes unblocked up the middle, the corner lost immediately. Just little flip out to Higgins, little miracle ball. So there you go. I mean, the the soft zone is killing the pass rush right now. And um, so is the offensive line holding. And they can play better. The Packers pass rushers can play better too. But they're not getting calls right now. And there's a ton of both Dak and Flacco just hitting the top of their drop and getting the ball out. And no one is going to get a no one is going to get a sack doing that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many turnovers the Jaguars have. It's right now it's just a schematic issue. If you're going to play 2 and 4 and just safeties back and they're going to dink and dunk, there's really not a ton of turnovers to be had, especially when you don't have elite interior pass defenders. Like Quay kind of has to run into one. Bullard hasn't shown to be that guy. your outside corners, Nixon and Hobbs, have like no ball skills. The turnovers have to be like forced fumbles, and then Williams and McKinney, and um they being the um safeties are not being tested at all. Receiver, yeah, it is. I mean, they there's yet another reason that Watson is the secret sauce, man. Dobbs is mediocre. Reed doesn't really block. He's not in there now. Golden is not very big and is not really blocking super well right now. It's a rough deal. I guess I should pay attention to Heath, because Heath has always kind of been a dog. But yeah, I get it, because Dobbs doesn't do much there. Golden, I think right now is just physically probably a negative. Reed doesn't do it, and you're going to have like one or two of those guys on the field at all times. Um, just the way that the injuries have hit them, and whatever. But yeah, the days of like 12 personnel with Watson and Heath just moving people, or Watson and Wicks just moving people, um, moving these corners out of the way. It's not where it is right now. Okay, gonna wrap this baby up. Yeah, punching the ball out. I agree, and I tell you what, man, um they repped it all camp. They emphasized it all camp. They forced fumbles in camp, and it's just gone. And so that's hard to even honestly like put on coaches. And I know for some reason, I don't know if we get attached to these players or what, but like everyone always wants to blame LaFleur or blame the defensive coordinator. And I am certainly there as far as the amount of blame that I put on Mike Pettin and Joe Barry. But at some point, players have to make plays too. And the coaches, and I know because I was there and other people were there. The coaches, I mean, good gosh, they emphasize punching the ball out, and they just don't. Or they do, and it's not coming out, because you watch the replay, especially when the guy gets stood up. They're punching, punching, punching. It's just not coming out. So um, I don't know if it's a technique thing or what, or just a luck, a fortune thing right now. But they emphasized the bejesus out of that, and it just had to it just hasn't happened, man. Andy said this needed to be a statement when it was not. I don't know why Andy said that. I don't agree with Andy. You just, these wins are not consequential. You win to get a playoff seed. This is title town. I don't care about any of this. They've proven they can beat good teams. They beat Detroit. They beat Washington. They are 4-1-1. Okay, and it's not anything like last year. I'm seeing this. It, it's just, oh, 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. Sit down. Um, is this what? Detroit is 4-1. The Commanders with Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship game. Am I on drugs? What in the world are we even talking about here? Um, yeah, this is the whole key, and then I'm going to close up shop here. Good result. It's hard to know how much information we're getting on this team for these types of things. Honey, I need to just finish this, please. What? I need you to just let me finish, please. Anyway, I agree. Um, I don't care. I just uh, they need to get wins to get a playoff seed. That's that's what I that's what I care about, is the Super Bowl. Um, I don't care about, oh, we should have beat the Bengals by more on October 12th. Um, yeah, I just don't. They're going to be a better offense when Christian Watson comes back. Um, they're going to be a better defense when Devontae Wyatt comes back. I think, as much as I love Jeff Halfley, he needs to do a little bit better. Um, I don't love what they're doing. Um, I don't love what they're doing schematically on defense right now. Okay, yes, for sure, go Chiefs. No question about that. I see you, Paul in Tucson. Um, I see you. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna hold on this. They won. They won by 9 points. Okay, this is an entirely too negative of a stream for a 9 point win. Bless you all. Drive home safe if you were at the game. Suppose if you were at the game, you're probably not on this show. Just be safe and be smart. And God, family, the Green Bay Packers, and all of that. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening, and go Pack go. Also, shout out to Luigi's Pizza.